What makes a good session? What needs to happen so that the lifter walks out of the gym thinking, now this was a good one? Say you have 5 movements on a given day. Should you be able to perform well in all of them? Or is it even one good rep in an otherwise lackluster performance enough to swing the judgment on the entire training session? What really matters at the end of the day? I had one of those days when nothing was going my way. Jumps felt slow and I had no bounce. On the set before the one I showed, I almost missed the landing entirely. The handstands were the worst in a while. I couldn't engage my core properly and I looked more like a banana than anything. Maybe I got 30 seconds in, but the quality was quite poor. On deadlifts, like the day before, I was lucky in leg drive and ended up showing good judgment not going above 140 kilos. Like with the handstands, my low back was nowhere to be found in terms of engagement, so I went for damage control and settled for a few reps with 120 to get some volume in at least. But the low point of the day was touched with the front squats, the 80 kilos, which I totally failed. Now, looking back at it, maybe it doesn't seem as horrendous as it felt, but I can still see the CrossFitter in there, utterly unaware of what's going on. And after that, I did, again, some reps with the lower weight. They didn't feel good either, honestly. Again, it's better than nothing. This is the last one, yeah. And then I went into the usual leg raises superset. At least the leg raises were fine. I don't think my low back would have allowed me to start digging, really. So halfway through the session, most movements were giving a consistently negative feedback. And there is a thing to be said, contrary to what I was saying about the previous one, while praising supersets, that the problem with the big giant sets, especially in a busy gym, is that you're not always going to be able to secure the equipment for as long as it's needed to actually complete the set. You can actually see this, that someone was trying to snatch away a machine, but now look at this. Okay, that was it. It was just one, but in a sea of underperforming exercises since the beginning of the session in a very busy gym, in a moment where a giant set was probably not the best idea, I somehow got my first ever Nordic curl. What does that mean? I think it means that no matter how bad you think a workout is going, there is no way for you to tell whether the next thing coming up is not going to be something that you were actually, it was actually a goal of yours for the year. So I've started, the 2022 started a week ago, and I have already completed one of my goals. Like, admittedly, was a goal that was kind of in sight for me, but when I went back to look at my training log, I had been doing the Nordic curls since about August, and I only started doing them every day in the last month, I would say. So when I started putting consistent effort in an exercise, the gains came. And it doesn't really matter if up until then the session had been bad, admittedly. What I'm gonna remember from this day was that I got my first Nordic curl, and that was one of the goals that I put up for this training year. So even if a session doesn't look good, even if every exercise underperforms, you never know, you may be set up for a new PR. All you have to do is to just keep pushing, and the consistent work is gonna pay off. All right, I'm gonna go celebrate my first Nordic. Ciao.